Welcome to Another Look, a film podcast where we go back and discuss a filmmaker's body of work, from their hits to their misses, as well as genres, eras, movements, and everything in between. On this week's episode, we are talking about surreal filmmaking. I'm Ian Killian.
I'm Jordan.
Keep going,
Jordan
baby.
Mushnow.
Ben Riley.
Nick Creekbaum.
And Nick is tuning in on the road on Skype. Actually, he's here with us. It just we got like a bad cord or something like that. We got the red cord. We also have a guest with us, Nina Walk. Hey, what's up, Nina?
Hey.
Sadly, this is our first female on Another Looks. Now Delaney can actually listen to us because she complained like after the second episode that we didn't have a female perspective, which is understandable. But haven't seen you guys in a while since the last episode. It's not like we recorded 2 in a row. Did anybody see anything worth talking about?
Anyone?
Well,
We all.
I've been watching Deadwood season 2. I
That's
started
cool.
getting into a TV show.
Takes up all your time, man.
It took me a while. I've been doing like one every couple days or something like that.
oh, that's good.
And it
You're
does-
savoring it.
One
yeah,
episode.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it doesn't really like feel like it's taking up like my reading time or my
Yeah,
movie
that's
time or
good.
anything like that.
I've only watched one season
That's my
of
problem
Deadwood.
with TV shows.
I'm on season 2, and I don't know if I like it more than the first season or not, but I just really love those characters. It's funny, it's vulgar, it's violent. I was just reading a Western, so that's why I wanted to get back in. I watched Deadwood then, and it's pretty good. I'm almost done with it. I don't know if I will go back into season 3. I want to try maybe doing another TV show, like The Expanse or something weird. Or
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. I've been wanting to watch like something different other than like the premiere television.
Yeah.
You know.
Go
so
back.
yeah.
Yeah. That stuff's
Yeah,
always better.
There's plenty of stuff like from back then that
yeah.
I've never seen.
Yeah.
So
So I figured I wanted to do something like that, but I need to watch the new season of
Twin Peaks.
that and Mr. Robot. I didn't watch
I've never
season
watched that. I
3.
need to watch that.
So but also I have like Filmstruck and
You keeping hold of that
well, don't call the cops on me, but I'm using my
student
my
discount?
student discount and I'm not
you
a
ain't
student.
no student.
Yeah, but I still have an EDU, so maybe someday I'll go back to school, and it'll count. Anybody else want to say anything?
Nick can tell us about his movie pass story.
You have a movie pass story.
Well,
He doesn't give a shit for some reason.
Long story short, I got booted from MoviePass.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because of when we went to see Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
It coded the transaction as a concessions transaction because the method of payment that we used was on a square.
Yeah.
So since the organization at Bucknell put it on,
Are you
it
serious?
fucked up my movie pass, and they got a red flag, and I guess it took them forever to catch up. But I guess a lot of people got like kicked off within the past couple weeks because they had a backlog of
How did you know you were kicked
violations.
off? Did they email you?
It just didn't work.
Man, fuck them.
Yeah,
he
it just-
paid for the entire year, and they're
Yeah.
not giving his money back.
They can't get. They're not giving me my money back.
How are you not flipping out about this?
He
I
doesn't
did.
care for some reason.
I do care, but
You need to call them
I
every
can't
day.
do anything. It was so hard to get a hold of him the first time. It was unreal.
They
not
grew
an
too fast. They
excuse,
don't
though.
have any customer service.
Dude, fuck them.
Yeah, it really pissed me
Did
off.
I use it?
I don't know.
I
But
just
remember
used mine.
remember when I was like, I'm really surprised the MoviePass works for this because it came up on the app and it allowed me to check in to that movie. It even shows on the app Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah, I remember you
And-
you showed me.
And I'm like, that's almost like baiting me into
That's a con.
If
Yeah.
it shows it.
Yeah, how was I supposed to know that it was gonna fuck up?
We need to make this fucking known.
And I told the guy,
Right.
who was actually really nice. I told the guy, I'm like, here's a link to, because he didn't even know what Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me was.
At
Movie
Movie
Pass.
Pass.
Loser.
I sent him a link with because he asked if I had a ticket stub or something like
Yeah.
to show proof. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
you have a ticket
I'm like,
stub from a
no.
movie 5 months ago.
yeah, I'm like, I don't collect that shit. And I found a link from bucknell.edu and
Yeah.
it said like the price and literally everything matched. He's like, I saw it was used at like $7.57 on whatever day for $7. And I'm like, well, look on this link. The movie started at $8, and the ticket price was $7.
What do you?
It's like almost like an automatic algorithm that like
Yeah, and he couldn't do anything about it.
he bumped my case up to like management. He's like, I'll be honest with you, I have a good feeling about this because a lot of these don't even get past. Like they have to get approval, I guess.
A good feeling.
Is
That's
that
what he
why you're
said.
not like all?
I'm
worked up
just
about it?
crossing my fingers, but I know that they have a shit ton of things to go through, so I knew
It's
the
no
process
excuse.
wasn't.
You could get lost in the shuffle.
I could.
They
I
sound-
know.
That's so
Disorganized.
fucked.
Yeah.
That scares me because I've seen a couple of movies there.
I know.
I'm not gonna use mine there. I don't think if that's what's
yeah,
gonna happen.
it said it coded it as entertainment, band, something,
Now,
art.
Well, did you talk to Lewisburg about it? Did you talk to?
Nothing they can do about it.
it wasn't run by. It was held by people, not the campus.
Yeah,
I remember they rented the theater.
So
and
I also think it might have something to do with that.
I do too.
And
Hey, I didn't even.
I don't
of
think
that.
it's I think this is squarely MoviePass's responsibility to fix.
Yeah, because
And
they put it on there.
yeah, they're
Damn, that's
They shouldn't
fucked
have
up.
They should not have been on there.
Yeah, we were saying if it allows you to use it, like why
Yeah.
is that your problem?
Yeah.
Why would
it
it
worked
even-
for you.
That's a flaw within MoviePass.
Yeah.
So yeah.
well, this is gonna go. We're gonna get a million hits on this
We're go-
episode, and they're gonna
we're
hear
going
about it, and they're
viral.
gonna fucking fix
I'm
your
gonna
shit.
I'm sending this episode to Dave Chen.
yeah.
And you got us like all movie pass. You were like
Yeah.
the
I
ambassador
even told
for
the guy,
movie
I'm
pass.
like, you have no idea how much I praise your service.
Yeah.
Like I told all my friends about it. I was saying, no, this is
Didn't
great.
you threaten you're gonna blow him up then?
I was just basically trying to get good karma.
I'm surprised you're this calm about it.
Oh, I was
okay.
really pissed Friday night, and then that was when I saw 12 to Paris
And-
or whatever.
It's
And
so
that just
funny.
15,
during
17.
during 15-17 to Paris, I was literally calling MoviePass in the theater because I knew how
You're just
hard.
waiting
yeah,
to
I was just sitting on hold as this fucking bullshit movie was playing.
They owe you a couple months.
Man,
I know.
They owe you money.
let's take him to small claims court.
This is a big claim.
Big claims
This
court.
could be a class action. If
Apparently,
this is
somebody disputed.
this is happening to everybody. It's class action.
Yeah.
Somebody disputed MoviePass apparently and won because they never answered the dispute.
Fucking scumbags.
What do you mean disputed them.
I'm not going to go into how I know that, but apparently that somebody locally disputed MoviePass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that mean? What's disputed?
well,
mean?
like with their bank,
oh,
and they won the dispute because MoviePass never even MoviePass has to
oh, I
answer.
see. Like they were pulling money
Oh.
yeah,
out.
yeah, and
okay.
somebody's like, "Fuck, my service isn't working, but they're charging me."
Okay.
I thought it was like
Oh.
I didn't
Oh, sorry.
understand what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
they
if it's
filed
a
a
bank
dispute
thing.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
the with the
their bank.
charges.
Yeah,
and
okay.
and MoviePass didn't even answer.
like just
pretty
taking
much.
your money out, but not giving
Yeah,
you a working
and
card.
when
You realize that's pretty much what they're doing to you.
I know.
But
Yeah.
you paid up front, so it's your charges
Yeah, I'm the dummy
months
that
ago.
fucking paid up front.
Well, they gave you incentive to do so.
Oh, you
so.
did the year $6 a month or
Yeah.
whatever that
yeah,
was.
if they say like "fuck you" towards the end, you just need to keep at it.
And it sucks in these situations. Like corporations do this, and it makes you feel helpless. You know what I mean? They're in control of your money.
You need to become a real parasite to them and not let them think they can brush you under the rug because
Well, the way
they're-
some of these laws are set up too, the corporations can do
Should-
this to you.
Should we make a
Free.
well, another look Twitter, and then we'll just keep tweeting
I
at
will
them.
do it.
Make another look Twitter.
I will do it.
Hashtag free
Movie
Nick
pa-
Creek Bums and
Yeah.
Movie Pass.
I have a good feeling about it, but I'm gonna try and call him again.
Yeah.
It's just such a pain in the ass. I'm telling you.
Man.
I know it's worth it,
I
but
will tweet them every day
Yeah.
it's
and
And
listen
tweet
to Nick's
and
story.
tweet like I don't know, like Elon Musk and stuff, and see if
Yeah.
he can do anything about it.
but
We'll get SpaceX on my side.
but for some good news, I wanted to talk about one thing quick that I already talked about a little bit with you guys, but the Silence of the Lambs criteria.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God,
beautiful.
it's incredible.
I've heard people flip about it.
The deleted scenes.
You watched them?
Yeah, I love those deleted scenes.
They're
Not,
fascinating. I'm very happy that none of them are in the movie.
Yeah, me
but-
too.
Yeah, but they are fascinating.
What are they?
Well, you get to see like Hannibal Lecter like escaping with the ambulance and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that, and he sings a song to himself. You get to see a lot of scenes that are in the movie just played out differently.
Yeah.
And I think those are the most interesting ones because to see how much this stuff could have kind of ruined the tone.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean?
The scene in the storage unit.
Yeah, where
with-
she's talking to that guy.
That would have been so much like that would have threw off the whole
Because in
tone.
the movie she's investigating and it's like pitch black and she's
Yeah.
like wondering and she like hops up. What she run into like a person's head or something?
Yeah.
And in the
the
deleted
jar.
one, yeah,
Yeah, it's in a
the,
jar.
In the deleted one, he's like, "Are you okay in there?" and talking to her the whole time from outside.
and it completely throws off the aura of the
Yeah.
the movie.
That's how
Oh.
it is in the book.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
that's probably why they shot it that
Yeah.
way.
And like the deleted scenes, and I could be just I don't watch a whole lot of supplemental features in movies, but like they left them on long enough that it almost felt like an outtake because it would show like the scene be over and then Anthony Hopkins would just be like
Yeah.
laughing or something.
Yeah. It's just still rolling,
Cutting
so they
room
don't
floor.
cut too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool how much of the stuff was him though, because he's really not in the movie a lot.
Yeah.
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 You know,
he's-
and
yeah.
he's a lot of these deleted scenes.
That's cool. Yeah.
Transfer is incredible, but yeah, I highly
That
recommend.
font they use on the covers.
Yeah, the
incredible.
cover seems like the worst thing about
It's
it.
like
but
Times New Roman, but like skinny.
I like the Rorschach painting.
Up close, when you showed a picture of it, it's like more detailed
Yeah.
and it's not. Yeah, I think that looks cool.
But just the choice of that font was just confusing to me.
I'm surprised so many people seem high on the cover because I'm
And
the
someone-
same way.
Well, I saw in Letterboxd where a guy was like, the movie's beautiful and blah blah blah. He's like, but the cover is lazy.
Yeah,
And then
I agree.
people were like, what? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's-
And he's just like,
I love the original poster art so
Yeah.
much. Like there was a theatrical poster where it was Jodie Foster, and then there was another image that was almost the exact same with Hannibal. I love that.
and
But
like there's like they could do so much. I've seen so much better, more
yeah,
beautiful
there's so much
looking covers.
imagery in that movie
Yeah.
too that they could have pulled
Yeah.
from.
And these are
Like
people that
Buffalo Bill.
regularly put out
tucked.
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, they could have just did a close up of his skin flap.
Or like you could be something sick of just like the whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they regularly put out amazing covers.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Night of the Living Dead one is amazing.
oh my god,
Yeah. You know who did that? Do you know who did that? Sean Phillips from.
That's right.
He's like my favorite artist.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
oh man, the
They could-
packaging for both of those are just.
Yeah.
So what is this one? Is it just type or?
It's just bad. The image itself looks cool, but the type is just
You
bad.
just show-
I forget what.
It's just like it's like the word
It's
font
yeah,
almost. You
it's
know
like
what I mean?
an ink blot with like it says "The Silence of the Lambs" in like generic font.
Oh.
It's just a
Yeah.
weird choice.
What do you think about that? 'Cause the drawing itself's not horrible.
Yeah, I don't think the art's horrible. I agree. The type is just like,
Lazy.
yeah, just like there, right? in the
And
middle.
it's like spaced at a weird spot, like just on the bottom. I don't know.
It's funny that the DVD didn't get it. Comes in a standard DVD case. It doesn't have like
The papery.
the really cool packaging
Yeah.
that the new one has.
I think it does look a little better. I'm seeing it up close, but I still don't love
The
it.
art itself,
Yeah.
yeah. But the font is what hurts me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it doesn't.
And it's such a nitpick. I don't like the
I
font
know,
for
but-
this.
Yeah, but
I
it's-
got.
it's
I got.
important.
Yeah, especially
When I
if I'm
got it, and when
spending
you put
$20
it
bucks
in,
Yeah.
extra.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, it's like it has 2 discs and it's
Yeah.
a Blu-ray. It has tons of features.
Yeah.
And,
So, but I just don't like the font.
And like I don't know if this is something Criterion does a lot, but I noticed that they have. I know they.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up. All right.
Hang on, the car's coming by here. They have a timeline, and it even is for the commentary. Like you can skip to whatever
Yeah.
part,
Yeah.
and it says to hear them talk. Is that something that Criterion does?
I don't
think
think
so.
on every. I don't think every release, but
On
I was like,
yeah,
wow,
I've
that's
they
seen
really
also
it.
cool.
don't have subtitles on every release, which bugs me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, because this is a movie that I would want to listen to the commentary on. So
Yeah,
that's
I did listen to the comment because
It's the same commentary.
yeah, I've listened to it. It's good.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same commentary from the DVD.
You
Yeah.
want to borrow my?
Well, he died. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have done it more recently.
Yeah.
I don't think he saw because
They produce new features, but they also include the old.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anybody have anything else that they want to talk about for the
we can t-
recommendations or non-recommendations?
I also watched that and it was amazing. But
Yeah.
let's see, what did I watch? Well, I watched that My Friend Dahmer movie.
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
boring.
I saw you gave it like a really low on Letterboxd.
I gave
Yeah.
it a 2, which I thought, in retrospect, feels generous. It's so
Really?
it's so boring and
Yeah.
bland. And
He's creepy.
he's not even. He literally runs around and goes like, "Ugh!"
Like what's it going for? Like is it?
I don't know.
Is it like?
I don't
do you
know
feel
much
bad for
about
him?
that.
I don't feel anything. It's just such a
Well,
bland.
you shouldn't feel much for him. I don't think.
I mean, I wanted to see this movie.
Yeah, it's
and
interesting.
It sucks.
It's based off a cool comic
yeah.
too.
The art looks cool.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're trying to like make it look like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything differently about him. He doesn't kill anybody in the movie.
Yeah.
And I kind
Does
of
he
expected
kill
that.
any animals?
He picks up roadkill and disintegrates it in acid, but you don't really get to see it too much.
Yeah.
Did you see Dahmer, like that movie?
With
Just
Jeremy
Probably
Renner. Yeah.
Maybe a long time ago.
I thought that one had a lot of like stuff about his childhood and like
Yeah.
more it sounds like it was like more in depth than that.
Yeah.
even.
This one was just
This is
kind
based
of
on a comic, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It just has that generic indie movie look,
Yeah.
and it I don't feel like I learned anything. I don't feel like I
Does,
thought it was funny.
did it show his relationship with his parents? The
Um,
disconnect
his-
there.
Yeah, a little bit. There are scenes where, and they basically abandon him and leave him to the house to himself. That's weird, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it doesn't really go anywhere with anything.
It's not a good enough reason to kill anybody.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
nothing about it was.
Yeah, I was interested in seeing it, but like I'll just listen to like a podcast about him or something, or
I'm sure there's a
documentary.
book.
That's
Yeah,
what-
a book.
People seem to like that too, and
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna take a little break and maybe we'll tune into Nick's frequency a little better. It'll sound better. So.
What was that?
So we're gonna take a little break. Hey Ben, what did we watch?
First, we will be talking about Perfect Blue. It was directed by Satoshi Kon. It was written by Sadioki Murai, and it was based on a novel by Yoshikazu Takuchi. It was released in 1997, and it stars Junko Oiwa, Rika Matsumoto, and Shinpachi Tsuchu. The plot synopsis is a retired pop singer turned actress' sense of reality is shaken when she is stalked by an obsessed fan and seemingly a ghost of her past.
This for an anime, I was very surprised how emotional and dramatic, effectively dramatic this was without being like corny or cheesy. Because I feel like that's a thing in anime, at least in my eyes. I'm not a
like when it started. Is that how you?
When it started, I was like, is this the right movie?
Me too. Because
yeah, and it goes back, which is
It's
very
like a
cool.
weird Power Ranger
I was
thing.
like-
It goes, but
Yeah.
yeah, they play. I think they play on that a little bit.
Yeah, they even show
and they
anime like the cartoon drawings at one point, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's funny to see like anime characters in an anime where they're
Mhm.
like drawn like humans rather than like the
Well, yeah, I guess
big
they.
eyes and-
I think it does do a little commentary on anime itself because it has like the big eyes thing. It has like the Power Rangers corniness. It also deals with like rape, you know,
Yeah.
and the effect of even actually
obsession
acting.
of fandom.
Yeah,
you know?
it's really interesting, and
That's not obviously not exclusive to Japanese culture, but I
No,
do feel
no,
like
no.
it's prevalent.
But I when I think anime, I think I'm not saying Cowboy Bebop's a bad thing. I think I watched 2 episodes of it recently and I enjoyed it. But like, there's just like a hokiness to it. There's like maybe a wink
There's
to,
like
the,
and
to the
culture-
audience.
culturally different.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I
it's hard. We're just not used to it. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not used to
Yeah,
it. in
yeah,
a
I'm
way,
not.
and I think that makes it harder to engage with
and I'm like stereotyping it as like
Naruto.
yeah, and like I don't connect to it. And
Yeah.
this one I did.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
I think it's interesting because it's the most like an American movie in terms of how the plot unfolds
Yeah,
than any other I watch. Because it's we've seen movies like this.
this could have been
Not-
a Lynch movie.
exactly.
This could have been a De Palma movie.
Well,
It's-
according to the reviews, it's a Darren Aronofsky movie because everyone says about how much he took from this for Black Swan.
Oh, okay.
I can see that, kind of, but I haven't seen Black Swan in a long time.
Yeah,
so,
me either.
well,
Even the characters are Mima, Nina.
yeah,
There's just like
Yeah.
there's a lot to
Interesting.
it.
Yeah, he said
the identity.
I saw like he put it on one of his these lists or something, and yeah, it's awesome.
I read it was supposed to be a live action movie, but there was like a hurricane or something at the time, so they thought it'd be cheaper to do it as an anime.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very
Because
cool.
I don't think the animation itself is like compared to like Akira is like as beautiful. It looks kind of
Yeah.
standard to me.
Yeah.
It feels like a smaller scaled story.
Yeah.
For
Oh yeah.
you know
yeah.
what I mean, and that
Oh,
doesn't.
it's definitely with Akira.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a huge
yeah.
story.
Of course.
The elements aren't as like fantastical, and
Right.
you know it's very down to earth.
Yeah,
It's
and
still
it has-
really surreal though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's very surreal.
I feel like it took a little bit to be surreal.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, when? But
'Cause
then
I
you-
was like, is
but then
this-
it started playing with like
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah.
The surreal elements were more like psychological too. They
Yeah.
weren't like in other animes. The only really fantastical thing I thought was how the double was like hopping around.
Yeah, yeah,
I love
and like
that.
floating
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
and like they were having like a shared consciousness, maybe. Like,
It
Yeah.
made me think of Princess Peach.
Oh yeah, yeah. The outfit too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
well, I was gonna say a Toad joke, but I couldn't think of a Toad joke.
Hey, Toad is all you had to say.
I played Mario Odyssey this week.
Is it fun?
It's awesome.
Oh, I bet it is.
It's so fun. But anyway, back to the real stuff.
Back to Nick.
Nick, what do you think of this? Because this
It-
was a joke for you.
It wasn't as bad as I was thinking it was going to
Good,
be.
good.
It's short and like
Yeah,
it
oh,
feels like a horror movie.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like that oddly looking guy that was
Oh, yeah.
stalking her.
Now,
And the killings, like the secret killings,
Dude,
where you're
yeah.
not
the
sure.
killing
I was
with
like, this is like a
the,
slasher type shit.
the photographer.
Yeah.
That fucking
Pizza
gross
boy.
me. Oh,
or pizza. The pizza.
she was dressed
person.
as a pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and gets stabbed in the fucking eye.
Yeah,
with a
that-
screwdriver, like up to like the hilt, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh. And the part where she like leans in to grab something at the very end, and she cuts her stomach.
Oh, it's in
Oh
the
yeah,
glass.
that
Yeah.
made
That
me
really-
little squeamish.
yeah.
She was like bleeding out in the road.
Because it's funny that you're speaking positive about this because this was such like a punchline to you.
I didn't know anything about it.
I
He
know.
just say perfect.
Yeah, it was
blue.
just
Yeah.
one of those things where you were just like perfect
Yeah,
blue.
I was just
perfect blue.
I was just talking shit to talk shit.
Yeah, it's just funny that like you're coming around. You're like, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he didn't really say that. but-
yeah.
no, it-
We're giving him too much
I'd give it
credit.
a positive.
Yeah.
I'd give it a positive vibe.
Could you see like me comparing it to like a De Palma,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that. Like, it definitely has the themes that you mentioned
like
in it,
voyeurism and
yeah.
stuff, and like fandom and. Well, let's talk about the internet stuff because this is what 97 you said.
You taught me
97.
how to use it. Hey, click on
90
right click.
Yeah, yeah,
She's like, double click, what?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't know how to do anything.
yeah. It just
I could show that to some people at the Sun Gazette.
they don't know. Or what's his fucking name? The one senator that brags about not sending emails. Lindsey Graham.
Oh, does he brag about
Yeah.
that? That's funny.
Nothing to brag about.
Yeah,
a toad
he's like,
man,
I don't
too.
even have an email. So how do you fucking do your job? Anyway, but yeah. So the computer stuff. So that's 97, and it is commenting on how creepy you can be on the internet.
Yeah.
In this day and age where it's like the peak creepiness on the internet with catfishing and which this kind of is what
It's- Well,
imposter.
this person is pretending to be
Yeah.
writing a blog, pretending to be this person, and it is fucking scary.
I just
She doesn't seem scared enough at first,
Yeah.
though.
Well,
I
and,
didn't-
like
she
she
didn't-
makes
at
a couple jokes. And she's like, ha, ha, and then she's like, how does this person know so much about me?
Yeah. Well,
And-
like yeah.
And that's the moment when the movie gets like serious.
yeah.
Or feels serious.
No, so I need to be clarified. Was the guy with like the deformed face real?
Yeah, he was like a stalker, but I don't get it because it was saying like the other version of herself was emailing him, but then I was just
Well,
confused.
he pretended to be another version of her.
But I
He
thought
took over like the pop star of her. You know what I mean?
yeah
And
on the website.
on the website.
But what
and that
about
kind of?
what about her assistant?
That's good. You know what? That's a good
Ruby
question.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ruby.
Ruby.
I thought Ruby was the one that was impersonating her.
She was. I think they both were.
Yeah, I think they both were. 'cause
Because-
she said-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when the deformed person, I hate that. I can't think. The person's name is like Mima or something.
It's
Meme.
Mimia, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his name. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Okay.
she when he is like trying to rape her
Yeah.
or kill her, he's literally saying, "You're trying like." Once talking about keeping the pop star alive
Yeah,
and
yeah,
taking the
yeah.
actress out,
Yeah.
and
And
you could tell there's like a sense of, I don't know if he just knew that the assistant was in on it too, or if he was doing it for himself,
Yeah.
because he was that persona and
Well,
didn't want her to get in
That's
the
like
way.
a moment too where I feel like you're not sure if it's real or not, because she goes in and the body is missing. It's all cleaned
and it
up.
says cut like
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
like it's part of the TV show.
Yeah, and so many scenes of this movie are played or an episode of the show,
Yeah.
and then the camera pulls back and
That's
you see
genius.
that. Yeah,
That's
it
like
really
some
is.
like yeah, like Altman or you
It's-
know what I mean?
It's
Like
pretty meta.
yeah,
It breaks the line.
I
yeah.
think that's really genius. And like it plays on that for like a couple, like maybe like 2 minutes of a conversation, and it pulls back and it's like, cut, you did a good job. You know?
Yeah, I
and-
was like I was like, what is
Yeah.
actually happening here? Is this real or what? Like the TV show and the reality thing were like, I was really getting the lines blurred a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, we start to lose a sense of identity on who we're watching, the person or the pop idol or the character in the show. You know what I mean? And there's these three characters that we're kind of like caught between at all times. And it's hard to kind of distinguish between each.
Yeah, I just I thought that was super interesting, and I don't like I mentioned this earlier in the beginning, the idea of like her having like PTSD from just filming a rape scene is like a pretty interesting concept that like
Right. And that's even kind of tricky because she's okay with it and the assistant is not.
yeah.
And then it kind
then,
of
then
because
she
of the-
realizes
yeah, but at some point it almost seems like it's not her, but it's the assistant.
She does acknowledge that she didn't want to do it though. She
Yeah.
felt she had
She
to
feels
do
pressured.
and,
yeah.
and that's something in
That rape scene is brutal.
yeah, it's very brutal and
It's
like it's weird though because it goes from like the perspective of the actual movie itself, and then cut like it turns into the actor, he apologizes but he's still laying on top of her, and it just like makes you think about those scenes actually being made. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and using them to like advance
Yeah,
the plot. And that
yeah,
kind of thing.
like
it blurs that line of reality all the time.
yeah,
And it's kind of hard to keep straight on one viewing.
And it's such a long take too of that entire
yeah.
section. It's just like
He's like, yeah, we needed the shots from up top. Here, hold on a second, hold position, and it's just very weird, especially in this day and age of like, things coming out about like actors not feeling comfortable on sets and
feeling they have to do this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Then there's like the parallel between how it affects the character on the show, because they're doing it to advance her, but whenever she's laying there, you can see like a deadening in her eyes. Like they say, like it would have changed her too as
Yeah.
a person after that scene.
Yeah, and she's forced to do it because she wants more lines. She wants more screen time.
Yeah.
And this is the only way she'll get it.
And that's
Yeah.
why the screenwriter is killed. Like all the people
Yeah.
that are killed are people that are like have wronged her or
Yeah.
are not helping her
yeah,
in her acting.
or
'Cause,
just sort of abusing their
like
power.
the photographer and the nude photos.
Yeah.
That's and her agent, the other
Yeah.
agent guy.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, man, this is a very
Complex.
complex and
For 80 minutes.
Yeah, it's short, but it gets to it.
yeah. Well, also, I don't know. It's just like very speaking of this time of like the patriarchy running Hollywood or the film industry. You know what I mean?
Doing things that make you uncomfortable in order to not get your career ruined.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
this is this character is somebody who's already established as
yeah,
somewhat of a star.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just I didn't expect stuff like this, and I was pleasantly surprised.
I knew it was really well regarded. I just
Yeah,
didn't
me
know
too.
exactly why.
And wonder why it's called Perfect Blue.
I think there's a line. What's it's at the top of the letterbox? It said something.
The Blue Ranger in the beginning of the of the episode. Yeah, I don't. I have the letterbox open. The color of illusion is perfect blue.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know, but I mean,
The color of
it's a cool title, but I just didn't know what the.
I had read a thing on IMDb. I think it was more of a of what they thought it could be. It was saying it has double meaning because multiple aspects of the story hint to, like when she leaves the hospital at the end and there's the shot with the blue sky.
Okay.
It's meaning that like the confusion in her life is like now she's not confused anymore because then at the end she has that line where she's like, what does she say?
Yeah, I'm fine, or
Yeah.
I'm me, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and
I was a little confused by the ending.
I
a little bit.
rewatched
Yeah,
it.
we
again.
watched it a couple times.
Because
was
I
a
was
good
like,
idea.
is she her? Because it had me doubting, but I
Yeah.
think she was fine at the end.
yeah. Because the
Yeah.
Rumi girl was in the hospital. then.
Yeah.
But Rumi looks in the mirror and sees the double again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's still living that life, maybe.
That's like Black Swan too.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was confusing because Rumi was seeing her, or not Rumi,
Uh,
Mima was seeing her as herself, even though like she knows that woman. So I just don't get
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah. I was a little confused. I was just confused on who was doing.
Yeah, because
what,
sometimes
but
she'd be the pop star, the floating one, and then she'd be the heavier, which
Yeah.
the actual
in
person.
like a
Yeah.
reflection.
Yeah.
Or
That's scary when you saw her as the heavy one.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's
And like, she kind of looked like funky in the beginning anyway.
Yeah.
Like her eyes are very like separate.
well,
like,
she gets emotional too about the rape thing.
Yeah.
She like she's crying and she
Yeah.
leaves the room.
so yeah, maybe so they are two. Because for a little bit I was like, oh, maybe the Mimo or whatever is the same guy or the same person as her manager. And I was like, and I
Oh.
was thinking something like that, but I think they are separate.
yeah.
Yeah, I
He just seemed like a crazy,
fan.
like yeah,
Yeah.
crazy fan.
He gets punched right in the face at the beginning of the movie at that concert
Oh yeah,
by that guy who shows up later just on the screen. I can't remember what for though.
he's killed.
Oh, he's killed too.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
because when I was in Japan, I
He's a
saw
big
tons
jerk.
of guys destroying pop shows, throwing cans at
I
like
mean,
pop.
it's
K-pop.
Jam.
Yeah.
You have to respect the show.
So this guy did Paprika, which is supposed to be a big another
This was
anime,
his first
I
movie,
just
right?
put that on my eggs.
and and Tokyo Godfathers, which I'd never heard of.
Paprika
he
was my
he
favorite.
passed away kind of young.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
only in his 40s.
Yeah, 2010.
Paprika's my favorite Blue's Clues character.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's like a little baby.
It's cute little baby salt and pepper.
Yeah. I think I was getting these two confused initially because the covers are just women's faces, but
Yeah, I
Oh.
totally thought I was watching the wrong movie when it started because
Yeah,
it
me
just
too. There's no like credit sequence
Yeah.
right away, and it looks like it's like a Megatron looking thing.
exactly.
One of them curses, and then I'm like, okay, it's not a.
Yeah, this
Cartoon
movie's
like
very
that.
R-rated,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
which also surprised me.
yeah. I'm gonna give it a 4. Yeah. I'm gonna go with a 4.
Me
about-
too.
Yeah. How about you, Ben?
I would also give it a 4.
Nina.
I would also give it a 4.
Wow,
I'll give it a 3.
Next.
Oh.
Oh.
that's cool.
That's fucking 2 thumbs up.
So you gonna watch it again?
What?
You gonna watch it again one day? I think I want to. I want to.
I wish there was a better release for it. It doesn't seem like there's much of a DVD.
Yeah.
like a good version of
Any
it.
of you guys watch that Your Name movie yet?
What is it?
Your Name.
I watched
No.
like the first quarter of it on the plane home from Japan. Actually,
Was it cool?
I didn't care too much.
What is
Oh,
it?
really? It's supposed to be like It's supposed to be amazing. It's this new anime that
It's like a love story, and they switch bodies.
yeah, it's supposed to be
Like
weird.
Freaky Friday?
Yeah, but like they're in love. He's like, I have boobs, and like stuff like that.
starts
And
touching.
yeah, I fell asleep because it was on the airplane, but
Say it was boring.
I
Just
wasn't.
say it
I was.
'cause-
I wasn't. I wasn't into it.
Yeah, I keep seeing it on the shelf, and I'm like, I really want to see this,
Well,
but
the
I'm not gonna.
the
buy it.
opening is like goofy, like Japanese rock, where it's just like it sounds like some 41 music with like keyboards or something. I don't know. It just it was very the aesthetic that I assume anime is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it wasn't selling it to me, and I wasn't buying. So I don't know.
I'll have to pick that one time.
But I started Cowboy. Did you ever watch Cowboy Bebop?
I watched it when I was in high school. And I
Dude,
liked
it's
it a lot.
awesome.
Yeah, that's what Ryan Johnson loves.
Yeah, it's very cool. I watched like 2 episodes, then they took it off of Amazon Prime, so I probably won't
Oh.
watch it again.
I
What-
think it's only one season.
Yeah.
What's that other anime that I think Netflix has a new live action version coming out?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it looks weird.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of live action versions of that show.
What's that one hentai
really?
that they had?
Tentacle Mistress or something.
Yeah.
But then there was like the Devilman Crybaby or something that just came to Netflix. I don't know. I'm definitely interested, but I probably won't.
I watch all this shit.
I watch all this.
It's too
shit.
much
Except
shit.
for I won't watch the anime shows just because there's too many fucking episodes
But
of them all.
Are you
Hundreds
interested?
of episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're long, some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
No matter. Okay. What if there's just one season of Yu-Gi-Oh? Would you watch it?
I already watched Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid.
Are you more of a Beyblades guy or a Yu-Gi-Oh
No,
guy?
I don't think Beyblades count.
What?
Why?
Why?
Did you guys watch Beyblade?
Uh,
Is that-
I
is
don't
that-
even know what that is.
It was like on ABC Family.
it's an anime. It's like
Is
Pokemon.
it?
Yeah, they got battle rippers.
Hey, I liked Pokemon.
Yeah.
I like
I
Pokemon.
loved Dragon Ball Z as a kid. I liked Cowboy Bebop, and I watched all the
Gundams, Toonami shit.
Gundam Wing. I've seen the what's the Rurouni Kenshin, and did you ever hear that? He has like a, and there's the I've seen like Inuyasha,
Oh,
and
I loved Inuyasha.
I've seen a bunch of these shows growing up.
Yeah.
You know? And what's the other? Kenshin is the guy who has the blade in the back of his sword. The front
Blade
is
in the back
dull.
of his sword.
I don't.
Well, his sword, so the front is dull, and he has to cut back. You
oh,
know what I mean?
okay.
And there's like
Inuyasha is like the guy with the white hair.
Yeah.
And Red.
And the girl
And
has
the
cat
ears?
ears.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he
Okay.
has cat ears. In
yeah, and the Yu Yu Hakusho.
I don't know what that is.
I'm just diving deep into my.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't know what
anything.
most of this shit is.
Yeah,
These were all on Toonami.
yeah. I
and
just
I
know
used to
from
watch
Toonami.
them as in high school.
I watched a lot of them too.
Yeah, but there
Um,
also was like Reboot. You remember Reboot?
Yeah, that's my
And
favorite.
Sailor Moon.
Favorite anime is
Love
Reboot.
Sailor Moon.
I don't think Reboots is anime.
Shut up. It's just like horrible CGI.
It's like it's like groundbreaking.
It's so. I watched an episode. It's so boring. Did you ever watch Transformers Beast Wars? On the, like, and it's like that style of like horrible CGI, and that's so fucking boring.
Oh, it's got to be worse.
How did we watch that as kids?
I don't know.
Well, I was talking. I'm gonna announce my my next month, and we have to watch a full season of Transformers Beast Wars. Anyway, cool. We all liked Perfect Blue, so Nick can't use it as a joke anymore.
That's the biggest surprise of this podcast.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
Kind of
so.
not surprised. I mean, once I watched it, I wasn't sure, but I thought there was enough in there he could take
there's
from.
always something he should like, but he usually out of spite.
like talking like he's not here, and
Well,
he's
he's
just
not-
like looking at you guys.
he's Skyping in.
Yeah, that's true.
Not anymore.
Like,
We
oh shit,
we
he is
fixed
here
it.
now.
Yeah, I got picked up by hitchhikers.
You got picked up by hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Like
Or,
they
yeah, I
picked you up on the
hitchhiked.
side.
they ran him over here.
yeah.
But no, but I am surprised just because he sometimes picks and chooses what he likes to see.
or
in
he
things.
could have just like not paid attention to it
Yeah.
at all, even
Yeah.
though there was
But-
stuff in it.
But it is animated, and he doesn't care for it, but he likes it. That's good. We're gonna take a little break and show him Inuyasha,
Which he won't like.
see if he
Huh?
see if he really loves anime now. Something stupid to say. Hey, beep. like trying to speak Nawari or something. Hey Ben, what did we watch?
We watched Lost Highway. It was directed by David Lynch. It was written by David Lynch and Barry Gifford. It was released in 1997 and it stars Bill Pullman, Patricia Arquette, and Balthazar Getty. The plot synopsis is after a bizarre encounter at a party, a jazz saxophonist is framed for the murder of his wife and sent to prison where he inexplicably morphs into a young mechanic and begins leading a new life.
Dick LaRod is dead.
I love that part.
Yeah, me too.
We watched this at my house. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We were going to watch it in the theater one time, but you changed your mind like 3 times.
Really?
We watched 7, I think. It was that time.
Oh,
And you probably just fell asleep anyway.
I did fall asleep, but
Yeah.
Well, that
it was-
movie's almost like 3 hours.
Yeah.
that was cool to see that in theaters.
Yeah.
But Lost Highway would have been cool.
yeah.
Didn't it play at the campus?
Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive did.
Well, yeah,
but I feel like it did.
I feel like it played it and we couldn't
You
go.
know, it probably did because Blue Velvet also did.
Well,
Yeah.
luckily
And Twin
we
Peaks.
didn't go
Yeah.
because we would have had our thing, our movie passes taken away.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is my second time. I like it a lot more than when I originally saw it because this was like my early time watching like David Lynch movies. So I was just like, what the fuck? Like I think
Yeah.
it's cool, but like the beginning is very like almost off-putting, and then it gets like ridiculous into like the more fantastical, surreal stuff. and but like that first like bit is like slow and quiet and very eerie to me.
All the Bill Pullman stuff.
Yeah. There's like hardly any music, you know.
Yeah, except for his
Extreme
crazy
sax.
jazz.
Yeah, and like it's strobing and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you like the soundtrack?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have the soundtrack on.
yeah.
David Bowie.
I
think
like the
that's first
soundtrack,
song.
but there are parts where there are times where I question it.
It feels of the time, like the mid
Yeah.
90s, like that style.
Yeah, like the
It's a
last
lot more
one, like,
music cuey than
Yeah,
most
like,
of his movies.
Yeah.
like the police chase scene where he's at the very end. It's like
Yeah.
and
I
like,
love that Rammstein song.
Yeah.
though. It's so
And-
heavy.
and the scene. Oh, it's even when he's like walking up to the mansion to say Dick Laurent's dead. I think too.
Oh, that part's so awkward when he and then he like sees the cops. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
and he, like,
it
stumbles
looks
down.
like a 40s
Yeah.
gangster movie almost.
Yeah. I love this movie. I think David Lynch is like the most exciting filmmaker to discover.
Yeah.
Period. Just because it's truly like nothing else, you know. And I still don't know how to explain this movie. I have no idea.
And it is like things, you know what I mean? Like you can see things, but it just feels so fresh. Like
Yeah.
it's like the primal versions of, or maybe not primal, but like
There are parts of this movie that make me feel like I'm watching like a horror noir in like
Yeah.
the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like weird and spastic and like hell, like shit, the shaking head stuff. And
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
And okay, so what do we think it is? Like, because this is, you got to kind of decipher some stuff, right?
Oh yeah, you don't get. He doesn't tell you what's
Yeah.
going on.
Mm-mm.
well, if you want me to, I would say it's just like the Black Lodge.
Me and Nina were talking about this. I think he chases that in every movie, like obviously the dream logic, but just how are we saying that?
I think he chases the idea that there's like some kind of like for like an all-knowing person, which is who I think that guy
The mystery
Robert
man.
Blake.
yeah, the mystery man was,
and he's like a Bob character.
yeah, like a
and-
Bob character.
Yeah.
He has like the secrets to the universe. He can like change things, and there's always like a woman or a person who's in danger, like they're like mysterious, they're wrapped
There's
up in
also-
something bad.
There's also always two of these people, or at least two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's two Patricia Arquettes,
Yeah.
and there's two.
A lot of doppelgangers.
Yeah, and his movies always play with identity. They always have dream logic.
Americana.
Yeah, and
Or like noir or Hollywood influenced.
Yep.
yeah, this is the movie that he said takes place in the world of Twin Peaks.
Okay.
I can see that.
And I could see it. You know, there's nothing in it that's like blatantly saying it, but
Red curtains.
Yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see it.
Did he say what was? I thought. I was getting confused. I thought Mulholland Drive was connected to the world of Twin
Well,
Peaks.
Mulholland Drive was supposed to be the pilot for Audrey Horne's TV show,
Oh.
but it changed.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be like a show that followed her character.
Okay.
Going to
That-
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that Naomi Watts is basically like that sort of character.
Yeah. So my theory is that he killed his wife and is just like repressing this in his head, and this is like a fantasy in his head while he's in jail. And like the mystery man is like basically part of him. Because there's a quote, I don't know if you guys saw it, but he wrote this while the OJ trial was happening, and he was just so surprised of just like, how can this guy like golf and like do these things while he may have like he
Murdered.
did murdered
Yeah.
somebody and like is going through all this stuff, and he's just sort of like compartmentalizing his life and just sort of in a fugue state that he's calling it, you know, where you're just like you're forgetting this and putting yourself in another body. And that's what his like thing from Fred to Patrick,
Pete.
his like Fred to Pete. So he's living this like noiry biker lifestyle. He's fucking. He has this girl. He sees this other girl that he might know. You know,
Yeah.
and
There's always faces.
so like maybe that Mr. Eddie was real at some point. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know where reality and fantasy come.
We
and
don't know
blend.
which world is real.
But it all ties in at the end, and I don't know, like I think him driving away, like that's him dying in the electric chair
yeah, and they
because
do-
he's like shaking and smoking and stuff.
yeah.
It's I don't know.
He does the same. He does that when he's switching identities too.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say, and it could be both. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? There's nothing that you can really make sense of. But I like the idea of him being kind of like constructing a reality where his crimes kind of like seep in as he's constructing it. You know what I mean? As he sits in jail.
His guilt is
Yeah.
seeping in no matter his fantasy.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? I can build this world, but I still did something wrong, and it's chasing me.
Right. And it makes me think of it. It makes me think most of the very end of the new season of Twin Peaks, where we see other people after they drive on this highway. You could call it a lost highway.
There's a
if you
lot of
wanted,
highways in
you know,
his stuff.
and
those shots.
and they end up at a motel, like the Lost Highway Motel,
Mhm.
and one character looks outside and sees herself at that motel. You know what I mean? And then they go in and they
Yeah.
fuck. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
can kind of like see how it's like just another part of this, world. And it's so weird how many things connect in his movies, but you can't really explain what it means or how it really is, you know?
Yeah, there's just like this I was trying to describe it. There's just like this feeling that these things connect and you
Yeah.
don't know how, which is the dream logic, you know.
Yeah.
And it just works. Even with his references to other movies, like, oh, this is very like, from a noir, and
Yeah.
it's just like the very essence. There's these essences that connect, and I don't know. It's always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's amazing because he really constructs his movies based on ideas that just pop into his head and they turn into something that somehow always works.
And I don't think he doesn't really care if you completely understand it. He kind of just
that's beyond
he's
it's
exploring
besides the
the
point.
idea of
Yeah.
what is happening.
And it definitely he always juggles very serious dramatic things with kind of ridiculous,
Right.
almost parody.
Yeah, like
Like
he
the road
parodies like
rage.
the,
The road
gangster-
rage thing.
Yeah.
It's funny because Tim and Eric use that same actor for their movie.
What is
and,
it?
and-
Robert Loggia?
yeah, and he's playing the same character of just I'll fucking kill you, and he's like a business owner that he lend $1 billion for, he's a Hollywood exec and he lends $1 billion to Tim and Eric, and this feels like a
Tim and Eric?
well, like the Tim and Eric movie feels like a Lynch movie.
Yeah.
They're highly influenced by Lynch, and
Yeah.
it's just so funny. Just a twist more comedy, what it can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost there's so many funny parts in all of his movies, like when the kind of the same character in Mulholland Drive, who's
Yeah.
Angelo Badalamenti, spits out his
Yeah.
espresso.
Yeah,
It's so
it's like,
funny, but it's scary at the same time.
Yeah.
And he makes these situations that are so absurd that you don't know if you can laugh because
Yeah.
these people are scary, you know?
And he's definitely diving into that thing with Blue Velvet, of just the underside of a
Yeah,
community.
yeah,
Of
seedy underbelly is like his thing.
they dive into a porn world
Yeah,
where this mansion is just, they film porn there, with Marilyn Manson and Twiggy or whatever's fucking
Twiggy.
his
was
fucking
it
name.
Twiggy?
Yeah,
Twiggy Ramirez.
yeah, rapist or something. But
Is he?
yeah, he got in trouble.
Yeah, not surprised.
Marilyn Manson's getting in trouble now.
He had a
Drunken ramble.
yeah.
Called a girl a Chinaman.
Oh, with Charlene Yee. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, whatever. He's an idiot, but he is a groundbreaker with his whole rib
Oh.
surgery. So, but yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that mansion's so weird. And then there.
He always has deaths like that too, where the guy jumps and
Oh,
basically impales
that-
himself.
that's
was
so
nasty.
gross.
God, that was
There's a part where the camera pans a certain way, and it's so deep into his fucking head. It reminds me of Breaking Bad.
It's also interesting, yeah, when that guy slips
Yeah,
and
breaks his neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, we watched that.
He
Yeah.
slips on the rug.
Yeah. Yeah, I it's this is
the
This-
picture. Sorry,
nope, keep going.
the picture of the two Patricia Arquettes
Yeah.
makes me think so much of The Shining because they kind of appear
And then it's
or
not
disappear.
there.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's not there. you
Yeah.
know? And it's just so weird because I'm most fascinated with their characters because it almost seems like it is one person who knows and is
Yeah.
using, playing it to her.
Mhm.
And then it's also interesting because Robert Blake's character at the end seems to be on Bill Pullman's side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't really know what his motive is. He just kind of like wants to. I love when he hands him the knife. You know what I mean? It's so creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he slits his throat.
The timelines are so weird too, because things that happen at the end like
the
kind of go
beginning,
back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't really know where this. Because then when he leaves the house and obviously he gets chased by the cops, like he was obviously in jail and out of jail. You know.
Yeah.
So like the timeline of everything is hard to figure out where exactly you are in the story.
I think and that could be part of it, like his fantasy. Like he's like trying to make it come back into reality. Like, yeah, that was me saying that to myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's hard, but how would he have? See, that's if you're taking that like literally.
Yeah.
But how would he have gotten out of jail unless it was for some weird supernatural? Because
Well,
he's in like a high security.
He's in a prison. I mean,
Yeah.
Henry Rollins is guarding him.
Yeah, I
You
Yeah,
can't
guess
get
it's basically cell block 99.
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, he doesn't have a roommate. He's in his own
well,
cell.
he transforms into Pete, and that's how he gets out.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just mean like if
Yeah.
you're taking it literally, like it's in his
Oh,
head.
oh,
how
oh,
would he have
oh,
ever
oh.
gotten
I
out?
think-
Yeah.
I truthfully see it as
Well,
the
the-
alternate timeline. Way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Because like things are
Just
happening
because-
and they're the same, but they're also different.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because that's kind of how I've seen, and I'm using, things that are in this movie, but from other Lynch things that, that I can take into this.
I guess he's quoted as saying this is incoherent. This is an incoherent movie.
Yeah, but I would think he would say that about everything.
He's quoted about saying that. Nope, this is also an incoherent
Yeah.
movie.
I
This
mean,
is also
minus Eraserhead, which is super surreal and you don't really know what's going on. I feel like this is the first one in a while where it, like the stuff that happens in it leaves you just completely confused.
Mhm.
Whereas most of his other movies are like really weird and like weird stuff happens, but you can follow it more like linearly.
This is where he begins.
Yeah,
the
because
Mulholland
Lost
Drive.
Hallway, Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire, they all
Yeah.
kind of go this route.
Yeah. I want to give I think I watched Blue Velvet and Eraserhead and I was like obsessed, and we got into like Twin Peaks and I watched this and then I watched like Inland Empire and I was just like, oh, I could not grasp it
It's
at
a
all.
he-
And,
it's a
it's
lot.
very and it's hard to get into, I think, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like shot with like it doesn't look that great.
Inland Empire.
Yeah, yeah.
Shot with mini DV.
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
look good.
yeah.
But I love it.
And there's also something about the perspective of the camera, like when he shows Mr. Eddie, he's watching footage, and then it shows himself in the footage.
Yeah. Just the camera they're even using scares the shit out of me. If it's so weird, like he has to hold Robert Blake has to hold it up literally parallel to his like eyeball.
Yeah,
And
it's
He's
it's funny because in Perfect Blue, there's like creepy shots of him, the creepy guy with a video camera
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
that is funny.
This is a good matchup actually because they kind of
Who would've
blend
thunk,
each other
yeah.
of just like doppelgangers and underbelly
Alternate reality.
alternate realities and like who's who and what's what and people transforming and
This
these-
used to be definitely considered lower tier Lynch.
yeah
But I feel like it's getting,
yeah
reclaimed.
I it's because I don't feel like it's much different than his other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying much like it's
Yeah,
a bad
it-
thing.
No, it's exactly like it. It's
Yeah,
dumb
it's-
cops. It's
It's Lynch.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. And I think it's exactly like it.
Yeah,
The only thing that seems the most different is the change in identity, which also happens in Mulholland Drive.
yeah,
Seems more jarring in this than it does in that.
Well, in Mulholland Drive, she doesn't actually. She's still herself. She's just like a worse version of herself.
Yeah.
Where in this, he's a completely different
Yeah.
person.
yeah, in this it brings an entirely new face. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It doesn't switch identities at like Mulholland. They have the Laura Harring and Naomi Watts
yeah,
thing, and so you there's some familiarity with
yeah.
that, even though that might be more confusing because people you thought you knew are
And they're acting
Different.
completely
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
What just pops into my head was like the scene when he goes into the mansion and like there's like a porn of like Patricia Arquette and then it's just like a German voice that's like ooh
they do that a couple times.
yeah
It's very cool.
yeah. Oh man, I love the dream sequence. I mean the whole movie. I love the dream sequence in like the first third when it's Bill Pullman before he murders.
Do you feel like the first half is better than the second half? The Bill
No.
Pullman is better than the Balthazar
No,
Getty?
no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I just think that dream sequence where like he's just walking around his apartment
Yeah.
and like she's like, Fred, where are you?
Yeah.
Fred, where are you? And he's like walks into this dark corner and then just comes out, goes into basically very slowly and quietly. It's like a 5-minute sequence. You know, this is kind of a long movie.
Yeah, it is.
And it's he's like sits down and there's a cut to like his fireplace and it's just blowing fire.
He says it looked like you, but not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like there's smoke around a corner that comes around and then he puts in the tape and he sees her body and then he gets punched in the face.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
That part is awesome. Yeah, I definitely love this movie.
Yeah.
I think I just love all David Lynch, except for maybe Dune, which I still want to watch again.
I've never seen that. I
Yeah.
forgot about that actually.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not great.
And you're a Lynch fan. I would
I mean, stylistically, you can get some of the Lynch stuff, but the story
yeah.
is.
So does it feel very standard sci-fi or is there style to it?
Definitely doesn't feel standard. It's still
No.
it's still unlike.
Yeah, there's
other
still some
things.
David, like the style of it, but it's just the story is real convoluted, and I don't know if that because people love the book.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a hard book to
Yeah,
adapt.
you
I
know
think
when it came out, everybody had to take a sheet of things you need to know to understand this
Yeah,
movie.
that world is confusing.
Yeah, Frank Huber doesn't
like what
even-
spices and
Yeah.
all this stuff. It is still
you pee in your suit and you helps you breathe or
yeah, it's
something.
got
like that.
Sting in there
Yeah.
floating around as
A
fat
lot of
man.
people love it that like grew up with it, but
Yeah,
Then-
I almost bought it. It was at a book sale, but it was like the second book or I didn't.
I have the book, but I never
have
read
it,
It's
but
it.
I haven't
thick,
read
right?
it.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah,
We'll see what Denny Villeneuve.
yeah. I'm very excited.
I
'cause
think he seems a good fit.
he says
for
it's
what?
gonna be Star Wars for adults.
It's gonna be like 3.5 hours knowing him. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think he'll make sense of it. David Lynch is not a guy that wants
Doesn't care about sense.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm definitely there's definitely room for wiggle room, but I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
How about you, Nina?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
Yeah, it's awesome. I would recommend it to any.
Though I would with reservations. If you're not like
Yeah.
into this,
If you're a boring
Loser.
who
it is
can't
ki-
watch.
Some people don't like that where they don't understand what's going on.
I mean,
which
I wouldn't
understand
wouldn't
that.
recommend it. Like, hey,
Hey mom,
my
watch Lost
my
Highway.
roommates. Hey, you want to sit around and watch Lost Highway?
I
Because
think
it's long and it's weird and yeah.
Yeah, I like the first half more than the second half.
I think that too.
You think
The
that too?
first half.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
but I still love the second half. And
Is Balthazar Getty? Is he?
That's his dad was the one that was kidnapped. And,
Cool. He looks so much like Charlie Sheen to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's some couple looks. I was like,
He was in the
and
new
Twin
Twin
Peaks,
Peaks.
he'll show you a magic trick.
oh yeah. What the fuck was up
And
with
then
his
not
like
do anything.
head? He had like it was like growing bulb on his head. It was grossing me out.
His sideburns annoyed me too. Not that matters,
I
but
thought he looked.
Did you guys
cool.
ever read David Foster Wallace's on-set article about this movie?
No.
no.
It's super cool, but he
I was
kind-
trying to look at some behind the scenes stuff, but I didn't look too hard.
it's pretty long. But it's a fascinating article. It's before he obviously saw, and he talks about how he's excited but kind of expects it to be lesser Lynch and the mistreatment he felt of or exploitation of Richard Pryor.
Because he looked like he was struggling there.
Yeah, he was like
This was
about
his
to-
last movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like he was gonna die.
Yeah, but
mean,
he didn't die for a while after
Oh,
that.
okay.
He was
Which
in fucking
character
like
was that?
2 scenes.
Yeah, I know.
He was like the mechanic guy in the wheelchair.
Oh.
Yeah.
He had like, would he have like muscular dystrophy or
I don't know.
something?
But
I
he
don't
did
know.
not look good. He looked like he had a stroke or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was struggling to speak. He's like, "Hey, Pete," and like, yeah,
This was also Jack Nance's last film. It was released a month after he died, and
at
it was
the donut shop.
and it was
Don't
Robert
get
Blake's last one because he's a murdering psychopath. But
Well, actually, that's weird too. That
in Cold Blood.
yeah, he's awesome. He
Yeah, he's
Electric
awesome.
Glide in Blue. He's so good in that. Yeah,
He's cool, dude.
that story's weird.
yeah,
That's no eyebrows guy, right?
Robert
Yeah,
Blake
the
is.
Yeah.
mystery man. Yeah.
That's so wild that he was on this movie and then he killed his wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder
Did
if he was like thinking about it, like giving him
Oh,
ideas
he's
or
a
something.
weirdo.
Yeah. He's little. He's a little guy. You could toss him.
Jeez.
I read that he's
Jack Nance's story is even weirder.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What is it?
He went into a donut shop, got into a fight, and then he woke up dead the next day.
He hit his head.
He got a
Yeah.
kick. Like, a
Oh yeah,
concussion or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
That's what they tell you.
That's
What do you think? The government killed him or something?
no, a Bob, some spirit thing
Oh.
did. No,
He
that
got
does,
some-
but
there
that
was some-
sounds like a David Lynch movie,
I feel so bad for
like
him.
a guy getting in a fight in a donut shop and dying. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like an old
scary.
man getting in
Yeah.
a fight.
Oh
in a
yeah,
donut
he's
shop.
old.
Yeah,
He look.
he's not super
I think he
old.
looked older than
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he was in his 60s maybe.
Yeah.
Because think about it. It's only like, it's not even 20 years after he raised her head, and he looks like he's 20 years old in that. You know what I mean?
He looked old in fucking Blue Velvet. And that was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
10 years after that.
Yeah, old and red faced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think he drank a lot.
There's some there's
Probably.
fish in the percolator.
Yeah.
So
She's wrapped in plastic. All right. Well, let's get into my picks. It's my month. What month is next month? March. So, I was struggling. I'm keep on going back and forth on what I watch because I'm very tempted to have us watch the
Berlin
Yu-Gi-Oh?
no
Alexanderplatz.
much worse. Episode 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars.
I would love that.
I know, but I couldn't figure out a fourth one. If
Clone Wars
the movie,
animated thing.
no, I don't care about that.
This
Dune.
Christmas special?
I was gonna do like the Wookiee Christmas
It'd
special.
be like a 0 out of 5.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be worth it to me. But I there's a couple movies I wanna. I think I want to do the Star Wars movies.
Maybe we
but
could do a bonus thing with it.
Yeah,
sometime.
I want to rewatch them. They're very interesting to me.
Perplexing.
Yeah. But there is a couple movies on my list that I've seen a million times, but I want to rewatch, and that is David Fincher movies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're all big fans of Fincher. We've seen these movies many times, but I feel like there's a lot to talk about
Yeah.
with his style and what he does. So I want to do Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And
Hell yeah.
7, and then Zodiac and The Game.
Ooh.
This won't be a hard month.
Yeah.
These movies rule.
Actually, yeah. Let's stick
It's
with.
funny because this was almost our first month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might cut 7 out actually and do Gone Girl instead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's really funny that you say that because I just got that in the mail.
Gone Girl.
I
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
I own.
I knew you got
What
excited.
do I own? I own Gone Girl, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and The Game. What's the other one?
Zodiac.
Zodiac.
You don't own Zodiac?
I might have it on
I
DVD.
own I don't own the game.
Somehow
but own
I
it.
had 2 copies of Zodiac at my house upstairs. I don't know why.
Maybe I own
Did
it.
you
I don't
happen to
know.
get that off of somebody's doorstep on South Williamsport? Because that's how I got the thing.
You mean Muncie?
No.
Well, I have my stuff delivered to South,
Okay.
so he
I-
knows that somehow.
I thought you were gonna say Alien 3.
Fuck. I mean, no. Let's do Zodiac
No, that's a good.
or Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
She
Gone
said
Girl,
no
Zodiac,
Alien
The Game.
3.
We can talk about that. We can talk about this next time. But I'm really I want to watch the director's cut
Of Alien
3 because I heard it's so much better.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Where's that? Is that on a
I think it's
normal-
available.
The-
It's a
probably
bit-
the anthology.
Yeah, it's
Set,
available. Everybody's like, that is my favorite
I think
one. And
I
I'm
think
just
it's.
like,
I have the regular DVD, and I think it's still on there.
okay.
Yeah.
I want to watch that because
So yeah, those are the 4. I think he's one of the best. And
There's a lot to
Yeah,
Seems
unwrap
to be,
in those.
people don't seem to be talking about him a lot lately.
Well, because he's
He's-
doing World War Z
yeah.
too.
And he's been doing a lot of
he's gonna do
TV.
that.
He's doing it. He's doing. I don't know.
Mindhunter and
but-
House of Cards.
But I
he's
think
doing.
I think he's in the same boat as like Steven Soderbergh. He's maybe sick of the current like studio system and
Well, he even with Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, he got a lot. Like he wanted the budget the way he wanted it,
Yeah.
and they wanted this like massive franchise built out of it.
yeah.
And he spent too much money, and they didn't like that, so they
Yeah.
like kaput it.
that
Yeah.
new Steven Soderbergh movie looks really good.
one shot
Un-
on iPhone.
Unsane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that show Mural is or no Mosaic is another art word is on HBO. It's a miniseries.
Oh,
with what's her name? She crosses her legs in Basic Instinct.
Sharon Stone.
She's it came out as an app,
Oh, really?
and you can pick what story you wanted to follow.
And you can watch it
Yeah.
that people picked.
No.
We have to program it.
No, you can program it yourself.
Is
through-
this like a Twix thing?
Yeah, I have that app.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't have an iPad to watch it or a way to hook it up to a bigger screen.
So it's like Twixt.
uh,
Francis Ford Coppola, where he re-edited the movie as you watched it.
well, it's not. You can watch it normally through HBO, or you
Okay.
can watch it this perspective of this
Nick
character.
Nick showing us
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. So, are you not signed in or anything? Okay, but like it looks like a DNA thing, and
Okay.
or like a tree or something, and you can pick up like, oh, I want to watch this story, and it's from Sharon Stone's perspective. I want to watch Garrett Hedlund's perspective,
Okay.
and it's like mixed. But now there's an edited version of just a normal storyline.
Okay. It's good.
It's awesome.
Oh, cool.
But
I'll have to
you
check
should
it out.
you should do it on your phone because that's how it was. It's cool because some episodes are 5 minutes, some are half hour,
Oh, okay.
some are not even probably in the show because it's just like a little like news article.
Okay.
It's very cool.
So this is like a companion to this show.
I think
It's
that's how it
kind
was
of-
really
yeah.
originally made, and then it was just edited from all that footage into a mini series.
So
Oh,
it's
that's
kind
really
of
cool.
like Cloverfield in the way that all the extra stuff adds to the experience. Like
Yeah.
where it's
yeah.
like the almost, except for this is engineered just. Cloverfield was still meant to just.
Yeah.
These are
watch
more
the
like
movie.
episodes
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of put together.
Okay.
Yeah, it
That's
was
cool.
it was super cool, but I just couldn't watch it all through my phone, so I
Yeah.
got burnt out on it. But I do want to watch the edited version because I thought it was interesting. It was about like this rich lady out in Denver gets murdered, and she has like a lover, but also like a boyfriend, like a serious husband or something. And there's a
You know what?
It looks cool.
For no reason. The snowman is in my head when you explain.
I mean, it may be.
Nick's a
a big
he loves
fan.
that.
He's supposed to let me borrow it
Does-
if he wants me to watch it.
I will.
Because he secretly like is it a Green Lantern?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
better, right?
Yeah.
Better than Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible though.
Yeah. All right. We're going to wrap it up. If you want to talk to us, you can email us at anotherlookpod@gmail.com. You can leave a rating and review on iTunes. You can get us on Facebook at just look up Another Look, or you can stalk us on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us,
Yes,
Nina.
thanks Nina for being allowing a female perspective
Yeah,
on
and
this.
let us know if you had the same movie pass experience.
Yeah, we're gonna update you guys on this because we're gonna fight the system.
Bye.
Bye.
I was living in a devil town. Didn't know it was a devil town. Oh Lord, it really brings me down about the devil town.